welcome back to my channel, Thief of Joy. This is part 2 of a 2-part. We already have an interruption. Did you want to come say hi? Yeah? Say hi, August. Yeah, hi, August. Yeah, come here. Look, right there. Say hi. Say hey, everybody. All right. Let's go get some. Come on, let's go get some. Yeah, wait. August, I guess this door didn't shut all the way and you just come busting in. Yeah, it like comes right in front of me in the camera. All right. Again, welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of 2 parts. My last video I talked about why I named my channel Thief of Joy. So if you haven't watched that, please go and watch it if you're interested. If you've made it to part 2, thank you. I know that the first couple of videos, probably the first 50 or so videos, are gonna be a little bit cringe. The editing aspect and just everything that comes along with doing this is definitely a learning curve, but it's actually really cool. I'm actually learning a lot about this process. So please bear with me. Again, I'm glad you came back. I really appreciate the support. So this video, I'm gonna kind of talk about myself and just let you guys know more about me. If you don't know me on a personal level, you can get to know me. So first I'm gonna start off with doing a little palette tour, if you will, my little setup I have going on here. This blanket, it says Merry Christmas, and it has Winnie the Pooh on it. I've had this blanket since I was, I don't know, a young little tot. The next thing is these sunflowers. These are actually fake, and they came from my husband whenever we were dating. They were our first Valentine's Day. He gave me these because back then I really didn't see the purpose of real flowers, because I'm like, they're just you're not gonna get much use out of them. I now see the joy of having flowers because they smell good. It's really nice to have greenery around, and it's just that overall environmental smell and just outdoor, and you catch my drift. But I still have these. It's actually really cool that these came from our first Valentine's Day gift, and sunflowers are my favorite. So I've had them in my office at work. I've had them in our first home we owned together, and now we're in our second home. And so they've just kind of traveled around with us as we go. So they mean a lot to me. This table, I think we got off Amazon. This little pumpkin I got at a estate sale with my mom. So this is actually just a cushion and another cushion from a couch. So the home we just moved into about 3 months ago, the owners left us some things here. Like, they asked us if we wanted them, and we said sure. When we first moved in, we looked a little house poor because we moved from a much smaller home, and this is about double the size, and so we didn't have a lot of furniture to fill it up. So we've kind of slowly started getting things together. A lot of estate sales, which is really cool because I love being able to reuse things. So these are, I kind of am just using these as my current little setup here. It's really comfortable. I actually love sitting on the floor with a good blanket. Speaking of blankets, this blanket, I don't know if you can see it, this little blue blanket down here, it's from Target. We have 2 of these. We keep these on our couches upstairs for the most part for the animals. My daughter is actually allergic to cat hair, so we try and keep them on the couch so that if the dog and the cat jump up there, you can kind of wash them and get some of the hair out of the way. This pillow was given to my husband and I. All right, let's try this again. So you guys, I've already had a YouTubing fail. Because I take 100,000 million pictures, did not have enough storage on my phone, so it did not record the whole video. And I'm pretty sure I talked for at least 15 minutes, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna do this again. We've tried. We had a little bit of setback. I'm not gonna say failure, but we tried, and now my laptop is dead. It's okay. Okay. It's okay.
My name is Erin. I'm 30 years old. I will be 31 next month. I'm a Libra. I was born on October 11th, 1991. I am married to my husband Travis, and we have been married 3 years. It'll be 3 years in November. And so, fun fact, my birthday is on 10/11 and our anniversary is 11/10. So hopefully we will both remember that because it's backwards. We have a daughter. She is 19 months old. Her name is Flora, and that's Flora. A lot of people think I'm saying Laura, which is fine. Like, I am not dissing any Lauras out there, but I love the name Flora, and so often I think that I'm pronouncing the F very strongly, but apparently I'm not. And so I will talk about another time how we came up with that name and, why we love that name. Did I say she's 19 months old? I don't remember, but she is so fun. And I used to be one of those people when someone would say, oh yeah, my son or my daughter, they're 13 months old. And it's like, you mean they're one? But after I had a child and you have to go to the pediatrician like every 3 months, you start to figure out why it is that people say months. And it really is like there's a growth in between, those months and the first and second year of life. But after she turns 2, she's 2. After I don't have to start seeing the pediatrician's face every 3 months, and I think that starts at 2, then we're just going to be on a 2 basis. I live in Georgia. I live in North Georgia, I guess you would say, about 30 minutes outside of Atlanta. I have mostly worked in Atlanta my whole life, but I recently transferred to a hospital that is closer to home. And speaking of that, I am a medical social worker. I work in the hospital setting. I've been working in hospitals, I think I've worked in 3 or 4 since 2011. Yeah, so almost about 10 to 12 years. I've had different jobs throughout that time. So I've kind of built my way up, if you will, to where I'm at now. Most people might say that a social worker is probably not the career that you imagine whenever you're like, oh yeah, I'm just building myself up the totem pole, but I love it. I love what I do, and it gives me the opportunity to meet a lot of people and help a lot of people. And I think as a social worker, that's what we go into the field wanting to do. At least I hope so. I do what's called discharge planning, and that's typically what you do in the hospital setting. So as soon as that patient hits the bed, we're already planning your discharge, which sounds horrible, but it's like you don't want to be waiting around when you are ready for something that I was supposed to be doing. And so, or that you need and you can't leave without. So we pretty much plan post-acute care, which includes maybe home health, coming out to your home and doing physical therapy, or maybe you need to go to rehab for a little bit, or maybe you need equipment. I mean, I could tell you all about rolling walkers and bedside commodes all day long, but I'm sure that would bore you. Then I do assessments and kind of see where I am needed in a patient's stay. So that's basically what I do in a nutshell. I am excited because I'm going to be doing a whole series about social work because it is something that I truly enjoy. It's going to be called What the Social Work. Take that, like what the heck, what the whatever, take that as you will. And I'm basically going to start from the beginning. I'm going to talk about grad school and internships and the different fields that you could go into, and then why I chose my field and how I got my first job and what it's like working in a hospital setting. I recently, as I mentioned, came from a hospital in Atlanta, and then I transferred to a hospital more north, and it's significantly smaller, and it's just kind of 2 worlds, and that's been a big transition for me. So that's something that I can definitely talk about, and you can weigh the pros and cons about whether that's something you want to do. So I'm really excited. I mean, I can go into depth and talk about how to do an assessment, what you need to do in order to get licensed, what kinds of licenses there are, and things like that. It really is a broad field, and you have so much opportunity to just go into different areas like the school and hospital, and just, I won't keep going on about it, but it's a really cool field. And if you're interested in becoming a social worker, or you know somebody who's interested, send them my way, because I used to watch videos discussing all of these things, and it truly was helpful and kind of took out some of the nervousness you have whenever you're starting any career. So especially when you're in the field of dealing with people, and like you feel like what you do next is going to strongly affect them, which yes and no, but it'll be okay. You'll be okay. It's going to be okay. So earlier, when I recorded this video the first time, I had a list of questions from Pinterest. Like I said, my computer has died, but I do remember some of them. So it's just like random questions and things that I can tell you about me. So it asked about my favorite color. My favorite color is mint or coral or aqua, kind of like beachy colors, and pastel yellow is one of my new favorite colors, because my in-laws and my husband's family, we recently just went to Seaside, Florida, and that was the first time that I had been there, and it was amazing. It was like if you've ever been to Charleston, it was like Charleston in Florida. It was beautiful. Anyways, a lot of people ride their bikes around there. I have never really ever thought about bike riding as something I would want to do as a hobby, but let me tell you, I saw this really cute yellow pastel bike, and I just, all of a sudden the wheels were spinning in my head on how I could get myself into bike riding so that I could ride this little pastel yellow bike. Why? I don't know, but it could be in the future. You could see me with a yellow pastel bike. It might be something I can work towards. No, really, it was a really fun time. So the next thing was, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite drink? My favorite drink, my guilty pleasure, other than coffee, is vanilla Coke. Whenever I was pregnant, that's all I wanted. Vanilla or cherry Coke. I'm not even a Coke drinker, and nor do I want to be, but it's just, I don't know, I love it. And I really only get vanilla Coke when I go to Zaxby's, because they have one of those cool, like, what are they called? Freestyle fountain machines. So that's just something that I get when I go to Zaxby's. My favorite food, I would say, my husband and I, we really don't eat a lot of fast food, but when we do, we really like Panda Express. So we go there quite often. I love orange chicken. Who doesn't? And rice. And I really like their beef and broccoli. And then also I do like their, what's it called? Their greens, their super greens, or whatever they're called. Those are really good. Things I like to make at home. Let's see. I've been trying to learn new things to cook, but I seem to just make the same things over and over again. We eat a lot of things with rice and chicken. Beef bulgogi is something I like to make, which is basically ground beef or ground turkey, and then it's Korean barbecue sauce. It's called bulgogi. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. But it's Korean barbecue, and then it's got like sliced carrots and then cucumbers and rice, and it's really, really good. So it's one of our favorite things to make at home. It asked me about books. I don't really read books. I like the idea of being a reader, but I don't think I can sit still long enough to actually read a book, and nor do I really have the time, which is like the excuse of the century for most people. But I listen to more podcasts than I do books. One of the podcast channels that I really like right now is called Wondery, and it has a lot of true crime based videos and stories. I started listening whenever Dr. Death was a big thing that I was hearing about, which is based on a true story about, like, actually there's 2 seasons. There's 2 surgeons that really like messed up in their career and like affected a lot of people's lives. And then the second one I recently listened to was called Fed Up, and it was about a fiber company that really like went viral because of things that were happening to people who were taking that supplement. And then the one I'm listening to now is called, is it Blood Ties? Like Blood Ties or something like that. And I've only listened to 2 episodes so far, so I can't really tell you much about it, but it's just really good if you like true crime or just like suspenseful things like I do. That's one of my favorite things. I also like TV shows and movies that are related to that too. Speaking of movies, I have several favorites. First one is Selena, the Jennifer Lopez movie. Love, love, love. Second one is Step Brothers. I love Will Ferrell. There's been some movies that I've not loved him as much, but that's a hilarious movie. And A League of Our Own with, I think her name is Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, Madonna. There's a few other big actors in there, but it's really, really good. It's a good storyline. And then what other one? Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids is really, really good. I just had pictured the scene of when she takes all the puppies. She's got like 5 puppies in her car. But anyways, what else? My favorite music, I like a lot of different music. Country music. I mean, it ranges from hip hop, and I like Christian music. What else? I think that's pretty much what I listen to. I would love to share my playlist sometimes. I love when I share I switch playlists with other people so that I can find new music. So I can definitely do that sometime if you guys are interested in that. I think that's probably more than enough, more than what you wanted to know, but definitely ask me any questions you have about me, about my life, what I do, whatever comes to your mind. I am definitely going to talk a lot about like motherhood, and I mean anywhere from like when I found out I was pregnant to when I was pregnant and when I was getting ready, like what's in my hospital bag, what do I recommend for like first year of life and toddler life, like birth story, how my husband and I met, our wedding story, things like that. I plan on documenting as well so that I can have that for myself to look back on, and also you can enjoy it as well. And yeah, I really appreciate you coming back. Like, I'm so amazed that anybody, that you're here. And so I really appreciate the support, and just know that this has been a learning process for me. It's really interesting talking to a camera, but just knowing that I'm talking to other people out there who may potentially want to hear what I have to say. It's really empowering, and I feel like I'm very fortunate to be able to do that, and that I'm allowing myself the space to do that. And so yeah, I'm really excited. And I mean, if you made it to part 2, made it through part 1 and made it to part 2, hopefully you'll come back for a 3. I think my next couple of videos are gonna be, I know I want to talk about like my favorite things off of Amazon. We could definitely do some grocery hauls. There's a series I kind of want to do where I talk about things that I love but I can't commit to. For example, I'll just leave that as kind of a surprise. So my idea is that it's going to be I love blank but I can't commit, and it's basically going to be talking about things that I enjoy, but I've not been able to like dedicate myself fully to those things. I kind of do it halfway, if you will, but I still enjoy it as if I'm doing it all the way, if that makes any sense. But I will stop talking, and thanks again for coming, and I really hope that you stick around and see what's coming next, because we don't know, it could be anything. But sorry my animals weren't in this video. They are in there with my husband doing whatever. They're probably annoying him, but as you can see, my dog made a little appearance in the beginning of this video, so hopefully you got your feel of my animals. But all right, well you guys, I will see you next time. Take care and have a beautiful day, and do something that makes you happy today. All right, bye.